All right, guys, I'm going to try to make Thursday a little bit quicker. I know my paper looks a little crazy. I just tried to cut off the work from Wednesday so you guys didn't get too confused. So hopefully you've read over number 1. It says Sue's chickens laid 24 eggs. She gave half of them to her mom, a third of them eggs to her neighbor. How many does she have now? Okay, you with me? Let's draw some eggs. I want you to draw 24 eggs. Ready? I suggest, and you'll see why later, making 3 rows of 8. So we are creating what is called an array to model multiplication, essentially, because 8 times 3 equals 24. So if I do a 3 by 8, then I should have 24 eggs. It's also a strategy to find the area of something or the space that covers the inside. Okay, so she gives half to her mom and a third of the remaining eggs to her neighbor. So we have to give away some to mom first and then take a third of the remaining eggs. And then we should be able to figure out how many she has now. So I'm going to cut it in half. Ready? And I'm going to, in red, I'm going to mark out what she gave mom. Does everyone agree that half of her eggs went to her mother? There they are. Okay, now we're going to move on. She's going to give the remaining eggs, a third of the remaining eggs to her neighbor. So I want you to look at this section that is remaining, okay? She's going to give 1/3 of those to her neighbor. So I'm going to make a line here and here so that you can see the 3 sections. You see them? 1, 2, 3 sections, and one of those 3 sections is going to go to her neighbor. So here they go. 1, 2. I'll even write neighbor. Okay? So how many does she have left? How many are white? If you said 8, you're good to go. These are the ones that she has left. So we didn't actually do any math, we just drew math. When I say that, I mean computation with numbers. There's a way that you can get to the answer sometimes when you draw a picture. So if a picture helps you to understand what you're doing conceptually, use it, okay? I use it all the time. All right, which number below rounds to 783 and 6/10? Okay, so that's our goal number. Remember how I called this backwards rounding? So we know that we want it to round to this. So if I take choice A, and I'm trying to round to this place value, which is the 10th place, I'm going to look next door. And that 8 is going to change the 6 to a 7. So it actually doesn't fit our goal number. Do you see how I did that? So let's check B. B has, I'm going to work down here since you can see that, 783 and 592 thousandths. We're going to, goal is to get a 6 here. If I look next door, look at that. The 9 bumps the 5 up to a 6. Okay, just to check with you guys for this one, I'm just going to do it right here on the paper. We want it to be a 6 because that's our goal place value. But if I look next door, there's a 5. 5 or more raise the score. So then that means that this would actually bump up to 783 and 7/10. And then for this one, again, our goal is to get 6/10. If I look next door, 4 or less, we're going to let the digit rest, which means we would get 783 and 5/10. So do you see how those also do not meet our goal of 783 and 6/10? You guys are becoming rounding masters. All right, what decimal is equivalent to 5/8? Oh my goodness, do you guys even remember? I have a strategy for you before you get out the calculator and go figure it out. I know that 4/8 is equal to a half, which is 5/10. Okay, you with me? Okay, I know that 1/8 is 0.125. Because remember at the beginning of the year, I told you, I said, if you learn your benchmark fractions, like 1/8, 1/5, 1/3, you can figure out all the rest by addition or adding up and using the friendly benchmark fractions that you know. And this would be, I guess, called a unit fraction because it has 1 as the numerator. So I know that 4/8 plus 1/8 is 5/8. So I'm going to just add 5/10 and 125 thousandths. And I'm going to put some zeros here just to fill in when I'm adding. So 0 plus 5 is 5, 0 plus 2 is 2, and 5 plus 1 is 6. I bet if you type in your calculator 5 divided by 8, because that's how you can find it quickly, 5 divided by 8, you get 625 thousandths. But you see how Miss Connolly just used what I remembered to figure it out. And to me, that's what critical thinking and problem solving is about. Do you have things in your brain that support what you already know? You've learned so much math from kindergarten to now. So see if there are things that you can pull in. Like everyone knows that a half is 50 cents, right? So I just needed to really figure out a little bit more than that because 5/8 is a 1/8 away, or 1/8 more than a half. Awesome. Hope that was good strategy for you. Okay, moving on. Let's go to number 4. Number 4 says Pete has 3,247 marbles and he lost some of them. I'm going to put some of these keywords down. He lost 2,984 of them. And then he wants to split the remaining marbles between 17 people. How many marbles will Pete have left over? Wow, this is a super step. Okay, step number 1. He has marbles, and guess what happens to him? He loses them. What operation would you use if you lose something? Did you say subtraction? Good. Because if you lose your money, you definitely don't have more than you started with. So if you lose your marbles, you don't have as many as you started with. Okay, if you want to use a calculator, awesome, go ahead. I think for time purposes, I'm going to do the same since it is a word problem. 3,247 minus 2,984 is 263 marbles. Now, it says he wants to split the remaining marbles between his friends. So I'm going to tell you right now that the correct answer choice to this is not C. It's not 263 because that's only how many he has now. The second step says we need to split them. Okay, and I told you guys this in the beginning of the year. I said when you're doing something that has multiple choice answers and if you get to a multi-step problem, I guarantee you that the answer to step number 1 will be an answer choice because they want to see, and I want to see, do you understand that more than one thing is happening in this scenario? And honestly, this is really real life. Normally when something happens, when you lose something, you normally have to take another precaution or another step and try to get find your item or something. So, you know, things aren't just single step all the time. So when you're splitting marbles, we're going to do what operation? If you said division, thank you. We're going to divide between 17 of his friends. And I am looking for the leftover. So again, when I'm done dividing, I hopefully will have a remainder. Now, you could try this on the calculator, 263 divided by 17. But what's going to happen is you are going to get 15 point, and then you're going to get 4705. It's going to be crazy. So you really can't interpret the remainder using the decimal. Okay? So calculator kind of tells us there's going to be a remainder, and it's probably not going to be D0, but it doesn't give us the direct answer. So let's just do the division. 17 go into 2. No. 17 can go into 26. Yes. 17 times 1 is 17. 17 times 2 is 34. So I can only use 1 here. All right. 1 times 17 is 17. I challenge you to count up from 17 up to 26. So 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I got 9. Okay, then I'm going to bring down the next number, which is a 3. Now I need to know how many times 17 is going to go into 93. So I'm going to need to keep multiplying. So 17 times 3 is 51. Getting closer. This you can use your calculator for. 17 times 4, 68. Do you see what I'm doing when I'm finding multiples? 17 times 5 is 85. And just for fun, we'll do 17 times 6, which is 102. So you probably can tell right away that this one is too large. So we need to fit into 93. So I'm going to choose this multiple, which is 17 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 17 times 5 is 85. And then you're going to subtract. Guess what you're going to do? You're not going to regroup. You're not going to borrow a group of 10 from 9 and make 3 13. You're going to count up with your fingers right now. 85, start at 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. How many did you have left over? Did you have 8? I did too. I love it. So again, look what an answer choice was. 15 was an answer choice because 15 marbles is what everybody's going to get. So that was step 2. But step 3 was what's the leftover. So this was kind of a 3-step problem. You need the leftover. So the leftover is how many? 8. Good job. Love it. We are on fire today. Do you feel inspired? I don't know why I'm feeling really inspired today. Number 5. Ooh, okay. Mark has 8 bags of candy. Do you see them there? Pictures drawn. He wants to give his friends 3/4 of the bags. How many bags will Mark have left over? I am loving the pictures. So we are going to make some simple cuts. You ready? Our denominator is 4. We're going to put the bags into 4 groups. Here we go. Watch Miss Conley. Look at the picture. Do you see the 4 groups? I'll even number them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see the 4 groups? Okay. The numerator says how much he's going to give away out of the 4. And it says he's going to give how many away? 3. Okay. So I'm going to shade in 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. The question says, how many bags will Mark have left over? What do you see that is left over? I see 2 bags. And that is it for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. We'll launch everything on Sunday for next week. So don't be alarmed if you get notifications over the weekend. That's just me prepping you for your week next week. My goal is to start doing DMR live with you. I think that would be really awesome for us to do this together. So I'm thinking of a plan. I think it's going to be in the afternoon. I am not an early riser like Miss Wilson. I have a plan coming. I may take a little survey about what time you guys are up in the afternoon and want to do a little math. And what I mean by that is we'll just do Thursday. When Thursday's over, we'll close the session out, and that'll be it, really. Other than what you have to do on Google Classroom, you just work at your own pace. So if you're watching this, be thinking about that. Maybe send me some feedback. Is there a time in the afternoon that you'd be willing to get on Zoom and maybe spend 20 minutes with Miss Conley doing DMR? I was thinking between 1:30 and 2, but I'm flexible. If everyone's like, we eat lunch at 1, we want to do 2:30 to 3, okay. So just let me know. Love you guys a lot.